Man, I love that intro. Man, I love that intro. Hey guys, thanks for being here. For those of you that are here this late, wow. Um, a quick video, hopefully. You know, my videos are never quick, but hopefully this will be mainly because I just got done with work and I saw this case and I just felt like I could not go home until I shared it with everybody. This is a great case, but I call it a no duh type of case. And it really, um, you know, the fact that a case like this and that cases like these even go to court um, really shows you how far gone law enforcement has gotten and how far the idea of justice and constitutional freedoms we've come. That these simple little things are being criminalized. You know, the police have gotten away with so much for so long. This qualified immunity has gotten to their heads. They think they can do anything they want now, and they do. And then you know what their response is? Sue me, or the street's not the place to fight this, or you know, because they always know that generally qualified immunity is going to catch them. And one of my goals with my law firm is to chip away a little piece at a time or altogether any semblance or resemblance of qualified immunity, because it's got to go. It's got to go. And I think as long as we have qualified immunity, we're going to continue to have police officers violating your rights. When it starts getting to the point that police officers are paying for their actions, then we'll start getting some change. But let's get to the story here. This is a case that is out of South Carolina, the South Carolina Supreme Court. This was issued on May 8th, so about a week ago, exactly a week ago. And it's the State v. Thomas Charles Felton Jones. And I'm going to go over the two aspects of this here. There's a reason why, CJ, you're in Texas. Why are you talking about a South Carolina court? Well, there's a reason. There's a reason, man. There's a reason for this. All right, so here's the facts of procedural history. July 2018. Look, this is how long it takes. This is just the South Carolina Supreme Court. And this happened in 2018. It took 5 years just to get a South Carolina Supreme Court case opinion. Deputies Jake Lancaster and Jonathan Cooper of the Greenville County Sheriff's Office pulled over a woman for failing to use a turn signal. Oh my gosh. Do you know how many people die every year from the failure to use a turn signal? It's catastrophic. It's your modern day version of ethnic cleansing, this failure to use a turn signal. But anyway, the brave members of Greenville County Sheriff's Office pulled over this hardened criminal who failed to use a turn signal. She pulled her car into the side of the street in front of a home of the man she was driving to visit, Thomas Jones. From the deputy's body camera videos, it's apparent Jones walked from near his house to the side of the street to observe the stop. Standing at a distance with a flashlight pointing towards the officers, Jones observed the scene, as any good American would do. Jones briefly interacted with Lancaster and asked why Lancaster was calling for backup. Lancaster responded, "It's for safety, in the event that anyone else approaches the scene." Jones asked why his visitor was being pulled over, and Lancaster answered by stating it was because she had turned without using a turn signal and should be instantly thrown in jail and executed. Oh, wait, no. Oh, and rolled through some stop signs. Seemingly irritated by the questions, Lancaster then asked Jones, "Do you need anything, man?" To which Jones and his friend responded that she's visiting Jones for the night. Hey, she's coming to my house. The woman and Jones' interactions with the deputies, they were calm and respectful. And look, let me tell you something, folks. This is a valid point right here that I think needs to be put out there. When you're holding cops accountable, always, because you need to be the sympathetic victim when they inevitably victimize you, be calm and respectful. Let them be the tyrants. Don't walk up to cops calling them pigs, and just don't be honest, okay? Just don't walk up to cops and be honest about who they are and what they stand for. Just be calm and respectful. All right? Jones then took a few steps back away from the deputies and the woman still observing with his flashlight on. The entire exchange that followed lasted only 7 to 8 seconds. While Cooper questioned the friend, Jones continued to stand and watch. Lancaster then asked Jones, "All right, man, do you need to be here?" Jones responded, "Yeah, this is my house." Lancaster responded, pointing towards the house, "Well, you can go back over there or you could be arrested for interfering. Step back." Well, Jones did not move. 2 seconds later, Lancaster said, "All right, turn around," and began approaching Jones. Both deputies rushed towards Jones, tackled him, tased him, handcuffed him, and then arrested him. Why? For standing in his yard and asking questions. Those brave, heroic police officers, we salute you, you tyrants of tyranny. During the altercation, Jones lost consciousness. Yeah, he's getting his ass kicked by a bunch of brave, all-American, blue line gang members. 3 minutes elapsed between Jones appearing on camera and the arrest. Now, Jones was convicted of interfering with a county law enforcement officer under a Greenville County ordinance, but was found not guilty of resisting arrest with assault. Yeah, when you're getting your ass assaulted, oh, hey, you need to stop that. We're trying to kick your ass here. Stop resisting. Take your ass kicking. Freaking civilian. You don't know what it's like to wear this badge, pulling people over and having to put your life on the line for a blinker. Ignorant people. He was sentenced to 30 days in jail and a $1,000 fine, suspended upon 10 days in jail over weekends and a $500 fine. So he had to go to jail for 10 days over the weekend, just on the weekends. So I guess he could go back to work and all that kind of stuff. So Jones appealed to the Court of Appeals, and the case was transferred to this court. Now, here's the ordinance. This is the ordinance he was convicted on. It shall be unlawful for any person within the unincorporated area of the county to commit an assault, battery, or by any act, physical or verbal, resist, hinder, impede, or interfere with any law enforcement officer in the discharge of his or her duty, or to aid and abet any such act. Now, here's what's interesting. You know, we have a very similar sort of thing here, and you always hear this from cops. And they're starting to lose these cases because there are actually attorneys that are starting to fight back that it's interference to speak, it's interference to ask questions, it's interference to hold a camera, all that kind of stuff. And you're right. Yes, officer safety is bullshit. So anyway, this goes into a long thing, but I want to get down to this here. I love what the court says here. This is actually only a 5-page opinion. It's pretty easy. And by the way, what I did not highlight up here is that the state actually asked the court to declare the arrest of Jones for the violation of the ordinance invalid and reverse his conviction and sentence. You know why they did that? Not because they thought that they were wrong, right, but because Jones also wanted the entire statute invalidated. He wanted the entire as unconstitutional. But the state was like, "Oh man, this is bad. This is bad." I'll tell you what. Look, we're going to agree that as constitutionally applied, yeah, this needs to be reversed. Keep in mind, this is at the Supreme Court at this point, right? They didn't bring this up before. They didn't bother to, make this concession before. But no, they're making it now because they realize, oh crap, this entire ordinance might be left unconstitutional if we don't do something. So if we're going to lose, by golly, we're going to lose just a little bit. And so the state actually agreed with Jones that it should be found at least unconstitutionally overbroad as applied to him, because he also argued just as the Constitution or the ordinance should just be unconstitutional. So anyway, I wanted to bring that up real quick. But I love this. The facts in this case are appalling, and they tempt us to eschew restraint. And courts are very hesitant. All courts are very hesitant to completely invalidate a statute, a law, an ordinance, because it means that all of the good reasons, if there are any, that the ordinance, law, or statute was enacted would go away as well. And so what they try to do is just kind of chip away at it and not invalidate an entire statute. They try to resurrect it for its meaningful or useful reasons. So they say the facts in this case are appalling. They tempt us to eschew restraint. This case certainly indicates that the ordinance affords law enforcement officers discretion, which can be grossly abused as it was here. As Cooper testified at trial, his idea of, quote, hindering was anything that could make him lose focus. Does this remind you of anything? For those of you that watch these kinds of First Amendment audits and videos where an officer says, you made me take my attention off of my crime scene. Therefore, you're interfering because I am too stupid to ignore you. I am too stupid, and my ADHD and my minimal education and mental capacity prevent me from being able to do my job without paying attention to you, interloper, you citizen with your free speech and your camera. Okay? I'm stupid. Just leave me alone or else I'm going to arrest you. And it's called interference. The officer says his idea of hindering was anything that could make him lose focus. Lightning? Man, I wonder if he's running around during a lightning storm and, like trying to handcuff lightning. While many circumstances may require law enforcement officers to secure a scene to carry out their duties or secure their safety, what happened to Jones left us deeply disturbed. However, we decline the temptation to go further than necessary solely because of the egregious behavior of the deputies in this case. It's clear from both the body camera footage and the record before us, Jones was doing nothing more than observing and asking questions of the officers. Both of these actions are constitutionally protected conduct and as such cannot support a conviction under this ordinance. This is why I'm bringing up this case. Look what they quote there. Texas law. Texas law. And yet, despite the fact that we have City of Houston v. Hill, we have this problem. We have this problem. I can't tell you how many cases I have right now that are because a police officer felt like he was distracted or someone interfered because of a bunch of questions or somebody speaking or yelling or whatever. So this is the big thing here. They're quoting a Texas statute here. The First Amendment protects a significant amount of verbal criticism and challenge directed at police officers. And similarly, there's no indication that Jones did anything beyond engage in protected speech. And they quote a South Carolina case here that also quotes Hill, as you can see right there. To punish only spoken words addressed to a police officer, a statute must be limited in scope to fighting words, and by their very utterance inflict injury or tend to incite an immediate breach of the peace. Jones stood on his own property, merely questioning the deputies. When asked to step back from the location on his own property where he had been standing for the whole interaction, he refused, as any good red-blooded American, free-thinking man would do. Seconds later, he was aggressively arrested after being tased. Under these facts, his conviction cannot stand. And so they invalidate it as applied here, that you are allowed, it is not a crime. This is the case number here. If you would like the, let me see. Oh, I think I closed it out. But if you would like to find the actual case, I guess just type in South Carolina Supreme Court decisions or opinions, and you can find it just like I did. Oh my gosh, I've got a video under 15 minutes. I'm going to close this out. You guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for everything. Sorry I haven't been able to make many videos lately. I've been incredibly busy, as you can tell, because here it is, 10:50 in the evening. I'm just now getting off work. My boss is a slave driver. Yes, he is. Yes, I know I am. So I've got a lot of work to do and don't have time to make videos, but I will as I can. You guys take care, be safe, be free, and celebrate the fact that I made a 15-minute video. Bye.